This is One Sentence News, a daily podcast featuring 3 news stories with a sentence-long summary and 1 sentence of context apiece. I'm Colin Wright. This is a sponsored message. I've been using Anchor as my podcast host for a while now, and it's been a pleasure to use. Anchor offers benefits that most other hosts do not. It's free to use, but it also has a collection of tools that allow you to create a podcast completely within the Anchor website or smartphone app. They distribute your show to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other distribution channels without any additional effort on your part, and you can make money from your podcast without any minimum audience size. So you can use it as a more traditional podcast host like I do, but it's also got everything you need to start a podcast from scratch. If you're keen to give it a shot, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's Wednesday, September 14th, 2022. Let's talk about the news. From The Guardian, blood test spots multiple cancers without clear symptoms, study finds. A major study has found that a blood test which looks for cancer DNA in samples can detect cancers even in people who are showing no symptoms and can look for multiple types of cancer simultaneously. This approach is still in development, and there's another, many times larger study in progress that'll finish up next year, making the next steps for this more clear. In the meantime, this is being described by folks in the know as a potential game changer, as it could allow doctors to regularly screen for numerous cancers with a single blood draw and catch them before they become issues, making surgeries and treatments more effective. From Axios, Twitter loses key data center due to extreme heat in California. Last week, one of Twitter's key data centers, located in Sacramento, California, went offline due to extreme heat in the region. This is a significant example of something several tech companies have reported, namely that their data centers, which are giant jumbles of high-powered computers that require a great deal of cooling to keep functional, even in non-heatwave conditions, are shutting down due to record-high temperatures. These companies typically have backups for their backups, so this individual loss was a technical issue rather than a truly significant problem. But it illustrates how even some of the relatively less spectacular-seeming impacts of human-amplified climate change might mess with our day-to-day norms, and how there might be more infrastructural adjustments required to account for this new reality than has typically been expected. And from BBC News, modern slavery shoots up by 10 million in 5 years. The United Nations International Labour Organization estimates that about 50 million people, which is about 1 in 150 people alive today, are legally or practically stuck in either forced labor or forced marriage situations, which is up by about 10 million from 5 years ago. Modern slavery, in this context, is defined as situations in which people cannot leave a harmful, negative situation because of threats and violence and other types of coercion. It's estimated that about 27.6 million people are in forced labor situations, 3.3 million of them children, and about 22 million are in forced marriages, more than 2/3 of them women, and many of them younger than 15 years old when they're forced into that arrangement. Armed conflicts, poverty, and disruptions, like pandemics, all tend to increase modern slavery numbers. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and/or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com. And you can support this and other related projects, like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts, at understandery.com.